Hey guys, welcome to Crowning Judas. My name's Ashley. And normally I would start off with like a trigger warning and disclaimer, but we're probably not going to need one this time. But if you need to pause, go ahead and do so and come back if you want to. So today's episode is called 100-Year 1-Minute Intermission. And so it's only fitting that I make it a pretty short episode, and I have no idea where this is going exactly. But yeah, so if you're new, my podcast episodes, my son has asked that I name them after the track list from our favorite album, Razia's Shadow, which is a concept album by Forgive Durden, which the journey arc in the album is very reminiscent of my own journey arc. And so, hi puppy. And so I wanted to, come here. And so I wanted to, for this episode, I kind of wanted to just recap on why exactly I'm doing this podcast in the first place. So this is definitely a very called thing. When I had thought about doing a podcast, I don't know, I wanted to share my journey, but also kind of my healing path, but also show that even the things that are intended by others to be your demise or be your downfall, God turns to good, and it's actually part of your path. God factors everything in, even other people's choices. And so just like with Jesus and Judas, Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him, and he still didn't stop it. He let it happen because it was part of God's purpose or God's path to have Jesus be crucified and resurrected. And so as with my own life, all of the things that I've endured, all of the situations, all of the manipulation, everything is meant to bring me to where I am right now, is meant to bring me to where I'm going in the future, what I'm becoming. And so I just really wanted to share, that, though you are struggling, even if you are in transition, if you are pivoting, if you are in chaos right now, shifting your mindset into what is this trying to teach me? How is this helping me grow? What exactly is triggering all of these different emotions in me? Recognizing it, acknowledging it, and then following it to wherever that may lead you to. If it's, a jealousy thing, figuring out, okay, what is it that's making me jealous? What is the thing that I'm jealous of? Usually the things that we are triggered by are just mirroring our own insecurities back to us. And so that in healing has helped me immensely. Instead of looking at things and situations as, why is this happening to me? Shifting that mindset to it's happening for me, and it's trying to teach me, it's trying to help me grow. But then also with this episode, or I guess just the whole podcast in general, I feel like being called to do this was definitely an act of God. I had decided that I wanted to do this podcast, but had been kind of dragging my feet on it, and felt like God was very literally shoving me to post the first episode on the anniversary of my DWI accident. I'm still not quite sure why, but I followed that nudge, and it's actually been really helpful for my own healing to be able to explain this in a way that's not reactive, because I think in the past that's been one of my major, not regrets, because I try not to have regrets, but something that I needed to learn was to respond rather than react. If I was, in survival mode and I was going through chaos, I had a tendency to react to that chaos, and I'm a verbal processor, and so I learn and I process things by being able to verbalize them, getting them out. And I recognized that when I paused, when I took everything in, and when I responded to something with a more grounded approach, that I was more level-headed and it was articulated more in how I wanted it presented than if I reacted and was emotional or reacted or was upset by something or angry about something. And so it's kind of the same thing that I shared with my daughter. My daughter had recently sent a very, very harsh letter to an ex-boyfriend of mine. I had no idea until he sent me the screenshot, and I was very taken aback. And so as a young child, my daughter's 9, dealing with a breakup between her parent and someone else, in the context of them being a part of her life for, at least a year, if not longer, that she actually saw him. It's understandable that she would be angry. It's understandable that she would be upset. And so I had to sit down with her and let her know that her feelings are valid. What she has to say is valid. However, the context in which she sent that message was inappropriate, and that her response would have been much more well received in the manner that she meant it if she hadn't used the verbiage that she used. And so learning for me to sit and respond to something comes across more how I mean it than if I react in the moment. And so sometimes that takes pausing for an amount of time. Sometimes that's letting someone know, hey, I need a process. I need you to give me some time. And so that's been instrumental in my healing too. But if I could have you guys taken anything from my podcast at all, it's that staying silent for others' comfort only helps to continue the cycle of abuse, of injustice, of manipulation. And when we stay silent about the things that are done to us, we allow them to continue for other people. We allow them to continue to harm others as well as ourselves. And when we excuse that behavior, when we act like what hurt us, and have the same mindset of, well, they did that to me, so I can do that to someone else, or they did that to me, so I can do that back to them. All it does is continue the cycle over and over and over again. And so it's once you break that pattern and step back from the situation, quit feeding narratives that other people put out for you, you give things space to be exposed on their own. You give things space to, I guess, shed light on the shadows, like I've mentioned previously. So if you learn anything from Crowning Judas, please take with you that, speaking out, the cost of silence is much greater than speaking the truth about what's happened. And when you have that foundation of faith in God, you are always protected. And so there is a Bible that I wrote that I'm going to read really quickly at the end. And this is season 1 of Crowning Judas. And now we've come to the intermission in my story, a change of the seasons, the pivot, the unknown. In life, the true test of surrender is in the letting go, the free fall, releasing expectations of how things will happen or what will come next, and fully trusting that it's leading you to where you're meant to be, at the right time, in just the right way, like a safety net you didn't see until you were cradled in its grasp. Letting the past fall away, leaving only the lessons it brought with it. Allowing yourself to believe in God's divine plan sounds simple in theory. In practice, it's excruciating. It's the gut-wrenching knowledge that what you thought you wanted isn't meant for you. It's the way your world feels upended with every new shift, every pivot, every ending. When you sit with the changes, really think back to everything you've already lived through, you'll see that you were always going further up the mountain, not down. Because though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23. Because when you notice the signs you're sent, you'll see that you are always protected.